Evening everyone. I don't know what time it will be when you guys are seeing this. I filmed a day one of my holiday video this morning and it's been uploading ever since. And it's now evening and it's still uploading. So this is now my evening vlog. So God knows when this one will load. So yeah, apologies for the delay. Whenever I say in the video that it's this particular day or evening or morning, it probably won't be when you're watching it. So I thought I would just do a quick check-in before I chill out for the evening. Today I went to Lindisfarne. Didn't quite go to plan because I got there in good time. It was about an hour and 20 minutes from Newcastle. So and I got there in good time, although I did end up leaving the hotel a bit later than I wanted because when I went out to my car, a van was parked across two spaces and it was so tight that I couldn't open my door. I mean, if I was a bit more able-bodied, I might have been able to like squeeze in, but there's no way I was getting in that. So I had to go down to reception and I asked them if they knew who it belonged to, and they said, oh, I think it might be one of the workmen that are checked in at the moment. Hold on, let me just check the book. So she said, do you know what the registration is? And I was thinking, oh yeah, because I know that off the top of my head. So I said, hold on a minute. So I had to go out, get the registration plate. Luckily, it was a really easy one to remember. So I didn't bother taking a photo or anything. I just memorised it and then came back in. That's one good thing actually that I am quite good at is memorising numbers. I can memorise phone numbers I can memorise really easily, which are 11 digits long, and card numbers, which are 16 digits long. I think it's to do with if the numbers fall in a certain pattern or intonation, I tend to be able to remember them quite well, which is weird considering that I've got dyscalculia, which is basically a form of dyslexia, but specifically with numbers, and for some weird reason I'm good with remembering numbers, but ask me anything to do with actual maths and I wouldn't be able to tell you. So anyway, I've digressed. I gave her the registration and she flicked through her little notebook and she's like, oh yeah. She rang the guy and he took ages to come out, and then this guy comes limping out and he said, oh, I'm ever so sorry. And I was like, oh, it's all right, don't worry. I said, I appreciate the spaces are a bit tight for a work van. I said, it's just that I really cannot squeeze in there. So anyway, he moved that. Got to Lindisfarne. Driving across the causeway was absolutely amazing. And for anyone that hasn't been, there is an entire community on the island. There's a little village, there's a few pubs, and there's a brewery where they make mead, which is the traditional drink that the monks used to make at the priory, and so you can also get yourself some mead in the gift shop. I don't drink, so I didn't get any, but I did get a little something for my mum, and yeah, there's a few little gift shops and a couple of pubs, and you can eat there, and then there's the main priory and St Mary's Church, which is literally built adjacent to the priory ruins, and the church is I think 1100s, and then the priory obviously goes back a lot later than that. The priory ruins is the one that I think was dissolved by Henry VIII, and it's been in ruin ever since then. The original priory, founded by the monks in the AD 700s, which I think is the one that was the one that was raided by the Vikings. I don't think there's anything left of that one. I think the ruins were just the one that was founded much later. But yeah, the castle was amazing. Castle was really good, and around the sort of perimeter of the castle there's also a walled garden, a little kitchen garden, which when the castle used to be in residence, the lady that lived there, she made it into like a little kitchen garden. So there's herbs and things like that in there. It was such a beautiful day. It wasn't particularly windy. It was bright, blue sky and sunshine. It was meant to be only highs of, I think, 13 degrees today, so on the cold side, but in the sun it was quite warm, and because I was walking around and I had my coat on anyway and this thick jumper, so I was fine. But yeah, the castle was just absolute. Some of the rooms were stunning, and the only annoying thing was that by the time I got to the priory, because there's a museum adjacent to the priory and the church, and that's ran by, I think it was English Heritage, and yeah, I think the priory is English Heritage, and then the castle's National Trust, I think. By the time I got to the priory, they were just closing up, and I was like, oh, I thought you probably would have been open till, between maybe 4 or 5, and they said no, because of the tide. The volunteers that work here, we want to get back, because otherwise we get cut off until 8 o'clock tonight when the tide goes back out. And I thought, well, it's a bit crap really, because I appreciate they're volunteers, but when you consider how many hours you need to, there's lots to do on the island, and there's the whole village to walk around. There's the distillery, there's the little gift shops, there's the castle. The castle itself takes quite a while. That you can go down to the beach. So there's plenty there, and I just think to close up at, when was it? 1 o'clock. I think it was 1 o'clock. It closed up. So basically, I didn't get time to do it. And my original plan was to spend the whole day on Lindisfarne, because there's so much to do there. And I thought, I don't mind if I get cut off by the tide, because I'll stay there, do the priory and the castle and the shops, and then I will probably go for a walk on the beach, end by having dinner in one of the pubs, and then I'll wait for the road to open up again when the tide goes out, and then I'll head back. But no, I said to them, what else is there going to be open if lots of things are closing up now? And they said, well, there's basically just going to be the pubs, or even all the little gift shops. They all just close up, because they don't have enough, trade to warrant staying open. So I was like, great. So I'm going to have what, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm going to have like 7 hours to kill if I get cut off. So I then had to leave. So that was disappointing. I did see the priory, because the church is open to the public. They can't, the museum is where, they have a desk inside the museum, and that's where you pay to go around the museum part, and it includes the priory ruins and the church. But the priory is right next to the church, and the church is free, and the public can go in there. So there's nothing to actually stop you looking at the ruins for free. So I just walked through the churchyard and had a quick look at the ruins, took a few photos, and then toddled off back to the car, because I didn't want to get cut off. But on the way across, I stopped the car a couple of times, because the view was just stunning. And I saw a great egret and I thought it was a curlew, but this lady who had her binoculars, she said to me, I think she said it was called a dunnock, but I thought it was a curlew. But anyway, it was nice to see a couple of birds, and I decided, because I had the entire afternoon to kill, I looked on the map as to where I could go, and I wanted to do Berwick upon Tweed, which is one of the last, if not the last, English town before you get over the Scottish border. And I looked how far away it was, and it wasn't that far. And then I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to go to Scotland. So, completely unplanned, I typed in Eyemouth, because Eyemouth was the closest town that I could go to once I was over the border that would actually have, I mean, there was villages, but I wanted to go somewhere with amenities, so I looked that up, and yeah, it was Eyemouth. So, and there was a beach there and a little bay and a harbour. So I thought, right. So I plugged that into the sat nav and it said half an hour, and I was like, I'm going to be in Scotland in half an hour. And it's so weird because when you consider that I've gone my whole life without going to Scotland, and then 2 months ago I had a mini break there for the first time. I actually went to Scotland, and now within the space of 2 months I've actually gone twice. So yeah, it was just a little short visit. I popped into there. Architecture was beautiful. The bay was really nice. The tide was in and it was crashing up against the concrete barrier, and the waves were just absolutely humongous. So I filmed some of that, and I had a little walk along the beach, and then had a look at the harbour, and got a couple of bits in the gift shop. I got myself a little this little green and silver bracelet. It was only £1, but I just thought it was really nice, and so I got that, and I got myself a fridge magnet, because whenever I go places I tend to get fridge magnets, so my fridge is kind of covered in all the different places I've been to. And so yeah, I got myself a Southern Scottish Borders fridge magnet. I also got a fridge magnet from Lindisfarne, and yeah, and then I left Eyemouth, came back over the border into England, and went to Berwick upon Tweed. There's a Tudor period barracks, like a battlement thing there, with like a wall and an archway, because it used to be like gated access into the town. Town hall was beautiful, and I just had a little mooch around. I mean, it was getting late by this point, so I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to quickly go into Berwick. I'm going to have my dinner there, and then I'll head home, because from there it was going to take me about an hour and a half. Well, it's about an hour and 20 minutes to get back to Newcastle. So, and I was starving, so I thought, I'm just going to have dinner, have a very quick look around. I mean, all the shops were closing up by the time I got there, but that's fine, because I was just there for dinner, really. So, and I had an amazing dinner. I went to a restaurant called Limoncello's, and it was a really swanky restaurant. I loved the decor inside. They were quite busy, and I was like, oh God, I'm going into this, like, it wasn't overly posh restaurant, but it was, you know, it was a nice restaurant, and it was like, they did a lot of Italian dishes and seafood and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, I really fancy some seafood. And I was originally going to have the fish pizza, but then when I looked at the menu, I saw that they had the same dish but with pasta instead. And so I went with the tagliatelle, and it was in a garlic and tomato herb sauce tagliatelle pasta, and it had mussels, squid, tuna, and king prawns in it, and it was bloody lovely. It was so nice. And it was only $8.95, which, considering how much everything, I mean, my first night here last night up in Newcastle, my first night of my holiday, I just went to McDonald's because I was tired, and I thought, you know what, I'll go to the nearest McDonald's for dinner, that will do. And it came to nearly £15 for a burger and 6 nuggets and a milkshake. It's horrendous. This beautiful fresh fish pasta dish was $8.95, and then I just had a tap water, so I kept the cost down. Yeah, it was really nice. Oh, it was really sweet. There was this older couple who was sitting on the table next to me, and I think because I was on my own, they started talking to me, and we ended up having a chat, and they were on a holiday with their motorhome, and they're just travelling around all over the place. Yeah, we had a little natter, and then we were talking about all the places. They were from Lancashire. Yeah, they were from Lancashire, which is northwest, and they were exploring the northeast coast, and yeah, they said that they've got another couple of weeks yet, and it was just really nice that they talked to me. And that's one of the nice things about when I first was newly single. I was a bit nervous about going away anywhere on my own. But when you are on your own, you kind of feel inclined, and bearing in mind I'm a real introvert, I'm quite socially awkward, but being on my own kind of encourages me to speak to people. And I spoke to a couple of different people today. Otherwise, you've got your whole holiday and you don't speak to another living soul. So it kind of pushes you to be a bit more confident and talk to people. And yeah, they were really nice. So after dinner, I had a little walk around down by the river. There was some really lovely viaducts going across. I think that's the correct word. There's aqueduct and viaduct, isn't there? I can't remember which one is which, but basically there was some old bridges, and they went across the river. I think it was the river Tweed, yeah. And yeah, I had a little walk along the old Tudor period battlement ramparts. Went up, it was quite steep steps, but when I got to the top, the view was worth it. It was stunning, and the sun was just setting at that point, so I had a really nice view, evening sunset view of the town and the river. And then yeah, by the time I got back into my car, it was just starting to get dark, so then I made the 1.5-hour journey back to Newcastle, which is where I am now. And I've just made myself a cup of tea, so I'm just going to have a quick sip of that because I'm losing my voice. It's been a long day. I said to myself, as soon as I get in, I'm having a cup of tea, and I've got my heat pad on over here. This is warming up. Oh no, I haven't got it on yet. Silly me. I need to put the... Hold on. Let me pop the... No, I did put it on, so why is it... Oh. I haven't plugged it... turned it on at the plug. Oh. Let me do that, otherwise won't be getting anywhere. Now that's on. So hopefully that'll be heating up so that I can watch telly and chill out with my heat pad, because I was getting really sore towards the end of the day because I've done a lot of driving today and a lot of walking around, and I took a codeine and some paracetamol, cocodamol for the journey home, and I'm still really sore, so I'm gonna just chill out. But anyway, let me show you what I got quickly. This is so random. It's not even anything. You know, when you go on holiday, you normally buy nice things. I literally bought a pack of Lux soap from Berwick upon Tweed, and it was from a discount store. And the only reason I did is because I like this brand of soap, this Lux brand, and it was a fragrance that I haven't tried before, Magical Spell, which I thought was quite appropriate for this time of year. Smells really, really nice, and it's a pack of 3, and it was only £1.29, I think, in a discount shop. But I use bar soaps a lot, so I thought I might as well. But yeah, it's just because I don't come across that particular scent, so I thought I would give it a try. And then my hotel room, they've only given me one towel, well, like one hand towel, and then one towel for drying yourself after a shower. But I need 2 towels. I need one for my hair and one for my body. And I know I could have gone and asked them for another towel, but part of me doesn't want to cause a fuss. And then I thought, I actually do need another hand towel at home anyway for my kitchen. Oh, just change position. Oh, I need another towel in my kitchen. So I just got from this discount shop. I just got this lovely forest. It was called a forest green, just a plain cotton towel. It's 100% cotton. It's really soft, really, really soft. And it's a hand towel size, but I thought that would be big enough for my hair. So that's that. So nothing exciting from Berwick upon Tweed. That was literally what I bought from there. But in terms of the souvenirs, I got this lovely little bag. This little gift bag from Scotland. This is when I went to Eyemouth in Scotland. And I got that little bracelet that I mentioned, the little green one. And I also got It's a bit of a weird one, but I got some Tweed side honey, which was a local honey to the Scottish-English border, and I absolutely adore honey, particularly local honey. If I go anywhere new and they do a local honey, which is, you know, single origin, because if you buy standard honey from most supermarkets, it's usually a mixture, and it will be like a mix of EU and non-EU honey from loads of different sources, and you can't even trace what source it comes from. And with pure honey single source, it can often be good for allergies like hay fever and stuff, because of the pollen. Builds up an immunity to the pollen. So if you're someone that suffers with hay fever, sometimes it's good to try local honey, like local to where you live, because then it will be made using the pollen from that particular area, and it will hopefully technically build up a natural resistance to the allergens. So I got some lovely, it's established 1948. So I got myself some honey and the little bracelet, and then I got myself this little, I'll just get it out of this bag. I got myself a little, oh, what a cute little gift bag. A little magnet. I can't actually, hold on guys, I'm going to have to pop you down a second, because I can't get it out of the bag with one hand. I did not bring my camera stand with me because I wasn't going to initially do any vlogging, but I just got this Southern Scotland little magnet, and that one there is where I went today, Eyemouth. But yeah, I just got that. So that was from Scotland. And then in the information centre, because they had a museum, I didn't go in the museum because I didn't have time, but they did have like a little gift shop, so I just had a quick look around the gift shop in the information centre. I just picked up a free leaflet on Scotland, because it gives you all different places to go. So if I ever come up here again on another holiday, which I'm sure I will, I can look up some places to go and things to do. And then Lindisfarne, when you pay for your castle ticket castle entry, they give you a free postcard of Lindisfarne Castle. So that's where I went today. I love the fact that it's in this old-fashioned sort of sepia tint. And I haven't actually read the back, but it's basically like an old-fashioned postcard. So I got that, and I got a couple of gifts. I know my mum won't see this because she doesn't watch my videos, but I got the Holy Island spiced rum, just a little, because she's cat sitting and house sitting for me, so as a thank you I've picked her up a little Holy Island spiced bottle of rum. They do the mead, which is, as I said, what the monks traditionally made, but I didn't know if Mum liked mead, so I decided to go with rum instead. And then I got her just a little coaster, because she loves puffins, and I thought it was really sweet, so I got her a new coaster. And for myself, a Lindisfarne magnet, and it's done in like a watercolour style, which I thought was really lovely. So there you go. I have a Scottish magnet and a Lindisfarne magnet. And that's it for today. I was going to do Chillingham Castle tomorrow and then head on to Blyth after that. But speaking to that couple in the restaurant, they told me that Bamber Castle is well worth doing, but they said you need a whole day. So now I'm torn between either going to Bamber Castle, where I'll probably end up spending a whole day, or sticking to Chillingham Castle like I originally planned, which shouldn't take us long, and then going across to Blyth, because that was going to be my my thing to do in the afternoon. I was going to do the castle in the morning and then head over to Blythe in the afternoon, because they've got a military battery right by the beach, and I really wanted to look around that. So I'm in two minds at the moment. I might save Bamber for another time, because I am only here for a few days, and I think I'll stick to my schedule. But yeah, I'm going to relax now, so I'm going to sign off, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. Take care. Bye.